I remember it was a time I used to be so needy, sick, and depressed. Man, it seemed like it was always something going on. It seemed like it was always an adversity that came, and it was like, oh my God, what in the world am I going through? And I remember a lot of times people in church, they would say that, I'm mimicking the story of Job, or mimicking the woman with the issue of blood, and just, my goodness. But all in reality, I was mentally messed up, and it was affecting my body. It was affecting the energy around me. And I don't think we realize how powerful we are in our manifestations and what comes out of our mouths, which is why they say the tongue is powerful. It really is. It's a wand. It's a wand full of magic. And so when adversities come and we dwell on those adversities, then we're asking for more adversities to come. On top of that, I had to break generational curses of the adversities that had came from my mother, and probably her mother, and her mother, like things that our parents tend not to tell us. Now, my mother told me a lot. But my grandmother did not tell me certain things, and she probably didn't tell my mother certain things, because back in the day, it was keep your business to yourself kind of thing, not to break generational curses, which is why I tell my children just about everything. And whatever I don't tell them or I haven't told them, if they come and ask me, I'm going to tell them, But I believe I've told them everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I want them to break generational curses. It gets to a point to where you don't even know what you're going through because nobody's telling you what it is, And so, like I said, I was so needy, man, because I was constantly going through stuff. And it was like, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? But the problem was, my mother was the type to say, can you help me? Can you help me? So that was a generational curse that needed to be broken. And it gets to a point to where you really think that you need that help, because it feels like you really need that help. And I'm not saying that there's not help that is not needed or whatever. But a lot of times when you go through those situations, it's a curse that needs to be broken. It's an adversity that you need to face in order to be better, But when it gets to a point of you looking for a savior, which is you having your hand out, asking for help, then things just keep coming back to you. It happens for a reason. I'll never forget my dear sweet friend. As soon as I get my lump sum of money from selling movies and stuff, I promise you I'm going to buy her a house. And I'm buying her a car to go with that house, to put in the garage. But I used to always be needing something, and I would call her, and sometimes I wouldn't even ask. I would call her and just be so sad about it, and I'd just be like, I don't understand why my life is going through this, And next thing you know, she'll end up either coming over, and she would fix me like some baked spaghetti. She would fix like Rice Krispie treats and stuff, things to make me feel better, And sometimes she would just drop some money. And it's just like, man, it was so crazy because it was just so many different things happening. But I didn't realize that it was happening because I had to go through it. I had to figure it out. I couldn't reach out to ask for anybody. I had to actually save myself in some type of way. But when you have children, you think about your children and how you don't want your children to suffer, You don't want your children to suffer. And so you find yourself reaching out, asking for help. When all in reality is just that it's time for you to save yourself. It's crazy, but it's true. It's happening to you for a reason, and you have to figure out what that reason is without hooping and hollering. And a lot of times it's for you to just trust God. Because a lot of times the people that you go and you ask for help, they talk about you behind your back. A lot of times those people that you ask for help are not even your true friends, and they are just like leprechauns. How they say leprechauns are anyways. It's like they give you something, and then next thing you know, you owe them your life, or you owe them all of these different things. It's really for you to get to a point of trusting God, your spirit team, your angels, your ancestors, your interceders, And when you get to that point of trusting, then you'll realize that there's nothing to worry about. You'll finally realize that all things are working in your favor. They always have, they always will. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but honey, listen, don't ask again. Don't keep asking them for help. They are hindering you. I know it seems like a help. I know they got a smile on their face when they doing it, but it's a hinder. Trust that God has you, okay? Trust that all things are working in your favor, because guess what? They always have been. They always have been. All right? I hope this helps somebody, because looking back over my life is just like, man, if I just would have trusted God, if I just would have trusted God and not reached out to people who I thought loved me, people that literally said out of their mouth, girl, I love you. And then in reality, they don't, or they didn't. Okay? You got this. I promise you, you got this. Whether you a single mother, whether you are a person out here just in a struggle, or not even considered a struggle, a lesson, a test, you got this. Good day to you.